Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with another episode of Dave's Faves. And today we're going to be talking about Dvořák, his last two piano trios in this amazing recording, which I've had the opportunity to plug enthusiastically many times before. Now, I just love Dvořák's trios, all of them. And the two earlier ones are horribly underrated and extremely fine as well. But these last two are really something extraordinary. I mean, we can't just say it's all equally wonderful because, boy, this is something else. That's the last one, of course, is the Dumky trio. That's number 4. That's the one everybody knows and everybody sort of admires because it's so unusual. It consists of 6 Dumky. A dumka is a Ukrainian folk sort of thing that involves extremely sad funereal music alternating with giddy, crazy, happy, dancey music. It's very much like a New Orleans funeral procession. You know, it begins sort of somberly and then it just whoops up and all hell breaks loose. Well, that's a dumky or a dumka. The plural is dumky. And so the Dumky Trio has always been acknowledged as an extraordinary and completely unique masterpiece because there is nothing like it in all of Romantic chamber music. Dvořák used the Dumka fairly frequently in other works as well, but this was the piece where he celebrated it. But what I want to talk about just a little bit is the one that comes before, the trio in F minor, because it is, in my humble opinion, the greatest piano trio of the second half of the entire 19th century, notwithstanding those, for example, of Brahms, which are marvelous. I mean, absolutely fantastic works. But this is really something. And, Dvořák is usually undervalued when he writes in classical forms because, as, one of the great tunesmiths that ever existed, he wasn't supposed to be too formally adroit, number one. And number 2, this is what everybody says when they go, oh, it's his most Brahmsian work because it's in traditional form. Well, the fact of the matter is that Dvořák was doing Brahms before Brahms was doing Brahms. He really was. I mean, chronologically, Dvořák had gotten to his 5th symphony, which is an amazing, stunning structural creation in classical form. It was showing Dvořák on the same path that Brahms was on before Dvořák even met Brahms. Now, of course, Dvořák was influenced by Brahms, and Brahms was influenced by Dvořák. It was a mutual thing. But to insist that every time Dvořák does something that's formally outstanding, it has to be influenced by the big German composer, which makes Dvořák, it diminishes him. It makes him the follower. And Dvořák was nobody's follower. He really wasn't. He was his own guy. And you really hear it in this unbelievable trio. It is the most glorious, fantastic, gorgeous, melodically intense, exciting, emotionally rewarding. Oh, it's as great as the Dumky. That's for sure. And it's just in what you might call normal form, although it's not even that normal because this is what is in cyclical form, for example. The themes from the first movement return in the finale, and it has all kinds of wonderful special features that you find nowhere else to the same degree. And I just think it's just the most underrated piece of chamber music, or maybe music like most of the entire second half of the 18th century. I mean, it's an extravagant statement and probably a stupid one, but I just can't overestimate the wonderfulness of the F minor trio. And these performances on Ondine, which are fairly recent, they're a couple of years old now, I think, with Christian Tetzlaff and Tanya Tetzlaff and Lars Vogt on the piano. Boy, are these hot performances. It's chamber music at the highest possible level. It has freedom, it has unbelievable individuality and characterfulness, while at the same time immaculate ensemble and the players listening to each other and playing off of each other. I mean, it's just such hot music making. It really is. And you really need to hear it. I mean, I can't get enough of this recording. It sits next to my bed. I'm not kidding. I've got like a stack of stuff next to the bed, so if I'm lying awake at night or if I need a fix, I can just reach out and grab it. And there it is. And this is one of those recordings that you need to keep near you at all times. At least I do. I really do. It's just extraordinary. Two phenomenal pieces of chamber music, and they're in completely different styles. So they really show off Dvořák's range as a composer, a range that's always minimized or misunderstood or misjudged or whatever the misword is. It's unbelievable. There was no composer at this period in Western musical history who was writing this extraordinary range of music, of styles and idioms and mastery, and it's just incredible. It's absolutely incredible. So do check this out. And get a disc that has these two works. I mean, there are other wonderful performances. I mean, the Sook Trio, the Florestan Trio on Hyperion, the Sook Trio is on Supraphon. There are great versions of Dvořák trios, and usually 3 and 4 come packaged together. So you do have options for this stuff. And, however you do it, just do it. I mean, if you can't get this one, it's okay. I understand. I just think this is a totally new standard in quality in terms of these two pieces. But, what the heck? I mean, there are others that have been so great historically. Listen to them. Just listen to them. Whatever you do, just keep on listening. Thank you for joining me. Take care.